That dude is just one trick. One trick Ying. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh, that was... I'm gonna have to fucking warn people whenever this guy comes along and be like, hey, like, this dude is legit going to pick Ying every single fucking time. He refuses to play anything else, and just, oh my gosh. Like here's the thing. And I'll get into this in a second. Like, just because you have most healing here doesn't automatically make what you did a good idea. Because think about this, like, not every game is going to be 2 tanks, 2 healers, and a fucking buck. Because here's the thing. This buck probably had to work his ass off way too much. Like, because he was the only source of damage. He was literally the only source of pure damage. As a result, well, like, as a result, I need to organize my thoughts of this because I'm talking like I'm talking like I'm fucking him. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are, quote, the number 4 Ying. Like, if you're the number 4 Ying, why the fuck are you playing in fucking Platinum? Or does that mean to, or do you mean to tell me that Ying is just a character that's just never played at the higher brackets? Because, like, I haven't been there yet, man. I've been to Diamond. That's it. And it's just, it was a selfish move on his part, because if it were anyone other than me, it is 100% a possibility, which basically means it's just, no, like, I don't, you can't see it, but he just wanted to add me as a friend. It's like, no, motherfucker, I am not friending you. Like, you are, doesn't matter if you're good, you are selfish. Like, you are a selfish player, and I'd rather not do that. I'd rather not have a selfish player be on my teams, like, every fucking time. Like, it's not gonna happen. Okay, so that's 2 and 2. Every game has been like, yeah. I might. No, I'll do one more. I'll do one more to close it out, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully we win. But if we lose, I just hope it's a fun match. I just hope it's a fun game. And I can't say that I don't want him on my team, because at the very least he does his fucking job. And he's quiet. Problem is, he's a bragger at the end. He's a poor winner. Poor winner, best way I can describe the guy. Okay, where did I leave off? There we go. 5th of May, the castle. The grey of the morning has passed, and the sun is high over the distant horizon, which seems jagged. Whether with trees or hills I know not, for it is so far off that big things and little things are mixed. I am not sleepy, and as I am not to be called till I awake, naturally I write till sleep comes. There are many odd things to put down, and lest who reads them may fancy that I dined too well before I left Bistritz, let me put down my dinner exactly. I dined on what they called robber's steak, bits of bacon, onion, and beef, seasoned with red pepper, and strung on sticks with roasted over a fire. That actually sounds really fucking good, I'm not gonna lie. In the simple style of the London cat's meat, the wine was golden mediash, which produces a queer sting on the tongue, which is, however, not disagreeable. I had only a couple of glasses of this, and nothing else. When I got onto the coach, and the driver had not taken his seat, and I saw him talking with the landlady, they were evidently talking of me. For every now and then they looked at me, and some of the people who were sitting on the bench outside the door, which they call by a name meaning word-bearer, came and listened, and then looked at me, and most of them pityingly. I could hear a lot of words often repeated, queer words, and just so you know, like, Dracula was written well before queer became any sort of derogative term. And you know what? Like, just for the sake of, like, going on record, I will look up classic meaning of queer. What I'm seeing right now is more or less strange or odd. So basically just saying strange words. For there were many nationalities in the crowd, so I quietly got my polyglot dictionary from my bag and looked them out. I must say they were not cheering to me, for amongst them were Ordog, Satan, Pokel, hell, Stragoisia, witch, Vrlok, and I don't even know how to fucking pronounce this next one. Vlkoslak. Definitely fucking like German or something. Fuck. Volkslak. I have no fucking idea. Oh my. That is both of which mean the same thing, one being Slovak and the other Servian, for something that is either werewolf or vampire. Memo. I must ask the Count about these superstitions. Boy, are you in for a crowd. Boy, are you in for a fucking rude awakening. Like I am, if I can get my fucking words straight. When we started, the crowd around the inn door, which had by this time swelled to a considerable size, all made the sign of the cross and pointed 2 fingers towards me. With some difficulty I got a fellow passenger to tell me what they meant. He would not answer at first, but on learning that I was English, he explained that it was a charm to guard against the evil eye. This was not very pleasant for me. Just starting for an unknown place to meet an unknown man, but everyone seemed so kind-hearted, and so sorrowful, and so sympathetic, that I could not be touched. I shall never forget the last glimpse which I had of the inn yard and its crowd of picturesque figures, all crossing themselves, as they stood round the wide archway, with its background of rich foliage of... Olinder? I'm going to call it Olinder. And orange trees in green tubs clustered in the center of the yard. Then our driver, whose wide linen drawers covered the whole front of the box seat, Gotza, they call them, that's Gotza, cracked his big whip over his 4 small horses, which ran abreast, and we set off on our journey. I soon lost sight and recollection of ghostly fears and the beauty of the scene as we drove along. Although I had known the language, or rather languages, which my fellow passengers were speaking, I might not have been able to throw them off so easily. Before us lay a green sloping land full of forests and woods. One would argue those are the same thing. And here and there steep hills, crowned with clumps of trees or with farmhouses, the blank gable end of the road. To the road. There was everywhere a bewildering mass of fruit blossom, apple, plum, pear, cherry, and as we drove by I could see the green grass under the trees spangled with the fallen petals. In and out amongst these green hills of what they call here the Mittelland, Mittel, land, ran the road, losing itself as it swept round the grassy curve, or was shut out by the straggling ends of pine woods, which here and there ran down the hillside like tongues of flame. The road was rugged, but still we seemed to fly over it with a feverish haste. I could not understand then what the haste meant, but the driver was evidently bent on losing no time in reaching Porgo Brund. I was told that this road is in summertime excellent, but that it had not yet been put in order after the winter snows. In this respect, it is difficult from the general run of roads in the Carpathians, for it is an old tradition that they are not to be kept in too good order. Of old the hospitallers would not repair them, lest the Turk should think that they were preparing to bring in foreign troops, and so hasten the war which is always really at loading point. Beyond the green swelling hills of the Mittel land rose mighty slopes of forest up to the lofty steeps of the Carpathians themselves. Right and left of us they towered, with the afternoon sun falling full upon them and bringing out all the glorious colors of this beautiful range. Deep blue and purple in the shadows of the peaks, green and brown where grass and rock mingled, and an endless perspective of jagged rock and pointed crags. What the fuck are crags? I need to look this up. You see, we're learning, people. Crag. A steep or rugged cliff or rock face. Okay, simple enough. Where am I? Where was I? Pointed crags. So, yeah, a pointed rock face. Fair enough. Steep mountains. Alright. And here we go again. Last round. Best of 5. Let's hope we fucking win this shit. Let's go. You have one job, man. You got one fucking job. Okay, then.
Turn to ban.
Hey, how's it going?
Your team's turn to ban.
Yeah, it's going all right.
Enemies turn to ban.
Nice. Now, I know you're not in any position to oblige my request, but are you all right with banning Ying? Because if who I think it is on the enemy team, he only plays Ying. All right. I mean, aren't you using the Ying's MasterCard? Master title right now? Okay. Fair enough. Who's the first? What's a... I don't play Grok, so I don't know what point stack means. If it's just a reference for him. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Unless you have Bulldozer. I cannot play... Like, I cannot play Makoa. I can't play him. I can go healer. I can go healer. Alrighty then. Son of a bitch banned my flanking character. Zin. I can 1v4 with Zin. Not because I can kill them, but because I refuse to fucking die. Fuck. I can play Willow. Alright then, Willow it is.
Customize your champion.
Willow.
No. I do not feel comfortable playing Inara right now. I don't have any cards for her. Don't you mean don't knock the Grok? Gotta have some rhyming in here, bro. Okay. Well, he's not on the enemy team, that's good. That's good to hear. It's good to see. Okay.
Who's ready for some bloody mayhem?
I'm thinking Scorched Earth. How about you guys? Well, Scorched Earth blows up 50% of maximum health shields per second. Not quite sure yet. I'll probably I'll let the game play out for a bit before I decide that.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle has begun.
Moji front side.
An enemy has drawn first blood. Enemy double kill. Enemy
And I didn't go right. I went straight to the center so I can get the high ground. Moji behind us.
Overtime! Stop the payload!
I've only just started.
Left side. Ruckus on left side. I'll just land on top of your totem real quick, no big deal.
Enemy killing spree.
What? Oh no, Bomb King is on my ass. I do not like this at all. Nope, nope, fuck off.
Enemy rampage.
Right side, Moji.
Not yet, my friend.
That hit the spot.
Oh boy.
30 seconds remaining.
Damn it.
Fifteen seconds remaining. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.